Hey, everybody. Happy 2022. I'm here with Melissa.
Happy New Year.
I told my last group that I'm going to be with Melissa, and they were all, yay, I like Melissa. So listen, you were just telling me you and your guide sat down and did 2022, and you were going to give us a couple of tidbits. But in order to see your full thing, which I'll be looking for, we need to go to your channel.
Melissa Free Range Psychic.
Melissa Free Range Psychic.
Yeah, I just released that earlier today. So they took me through the year. They gave me a card for each month. And then at the very end, they kind of gave me a general overview. And so this is what they said. They said the Democrats will win in 2022, both the House and the Senate. Yes, and even though people are doubtful now about that, there will be a turnaround for the Democrats in 2022. They said Joe Biden's popularity will skyrocket.
Good.
And then with MAGA, the reverse will happen for the MAGA. I call them the maggots. Unkind of me, I guess. But
well, you speak the truth. What are you supposed to do?
They will go into a downward spiral or spin that cannot be stopped, which will result in the collapse of the Trump influence and Trump's aspirations. And I just got a comment on my channel. The news is saying that Trump is going to run in 2024. And can you read on that again? Well, I've never seen him running in 2024. Okay. And it really wouldn't be to his advantage, I don't think, because I guess he can spend the money now that's coming to him. But if he runs for president, then all that goes into that pot and he can't access it. So okay. He can grift off it right now. That's really what he's doing. He's grifting off it. Plus, I just don't see his health being very good.
I don't either.
I've watched some of his interviews and he's just off his rocker. He is not, that man is not well. Maybe it's COVID brain or dementia or something, but really he just, not that he was much better before, but I just really think he's getting worse. I just don't see it. I've never seen
him. And there's probably some people, those people in Congress that helped him and worked with him. There's going to be some stuff coming up. And so because right now, right on the news before I started talking to you, they said that 40% of Republicans don't have a problem with violence to get their point across. In other words, the insurrection on the 6th last year was fine with them. I know
about that. I think the narrative was that there was, hearkening back to the revolution, the American Revolution, that's the only way that you can secure democracy. And I think that the narrative was also that that's why the Second Amendment's there, that you have a right to protect democracy with arms and forget about the well-regulated part. And then there was another narrative going on. Was it not Thomas Paine? Somebody had said, that if democracy is challenged, if our constitution is being challenged, then another revolution will happen, something like that. I don't know, but all of that is just really. I don't believe that really. I don't know what I
think about democracy is being challenged by Trump.
Oh, and I think it's being challenged by Putin.
Yes.
And it's always being challenged by Putin. So all we're really hearing right now on the news is either an unadulterated or an adulterated version of the talking points. Okay. That's really who's controlling our news. Because you look at like even CNN, who's owned by AT&T and their share or their largest board member, or the owner, created One American News. He created that. So what does that mean about CNN? So yeah. I think we're just hearing, Russian talking points basically, and we're supposed to believe that, but I don't know if I believe that.
I know because
it's an arbitrary
thing. The Second Amendment was in place when they got rid of all those insurrectionists during Lincoln's days.
Yeah, I don't believe, I think maybe it's 40% of a very small number.
Yeah, right.
Like 40% of like, I don't know, 1/8 of Americans, or I don't know what it is, but I really don't believe that even amongst Republicans that the majority would be okay with that. I'm sure some are,
Right.
But I don't, they use, these percentages and polls in an arbitrary way that we really have no context
Mhm,
with.
mhm.
So what does it really mean?
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. And you don't see an increase right now in that kind of violence.
No.
Whereas there was much more violence during Trump's administration. Right now, it seems pretty quiet.
Yeah.
And it seems like people are getting back to some kind of like normalcy. So
Right.
where's that coming from? And you have the majority of the people that probably would resort to that kind of violence in jail. They're in prison waiting, their trial, or they're at home with what do they call them on their ankles, their ankle monitors. Or,
Right.
the
Right.
majority of those people are undercover or hiding in Mexico or something like that, because they,
Right.
they're terrified, like the Proud Boys and the Oath Keepers and One Percenters. They're not happy with Trump either, because they're not getting pardoned.
No. And
They're
here's
not getting
the other thing
sentenced
too. This is
except
the
by
flash
Marjorie
I got.
Taylor Greene. Huh?
I got the flash that most of the people in office know beyond a reasonable doubt that this last contest was not rigged. They try to figure out if it was rigged. They try to hold on to what Giuliani and the Kraken said, but it's not rigged. And they've looked, they know for a fact it's not. They've seen the proof that it's not rigged, just like Barr did. At first, Barr said, oh yeah, we're going to look into this. And then when they looked into it, they found out, no, it wasn't rigged. No, it was a fair election, which pissed Trump off to no end. But they've got to speak the language that makes Trump happy. But really, they know it wasn't rigged.
Oh, yeah. And I think what made Trump the angriest is that he for sure tried to rig it for himself. And he was sure that because he had control of the post office and because he did his really clever ruse of getting, wink, wink, his voters to only vote on voting day, right? Because he knew that DeJoy was going to try to mess up the mail-in ballots. And then the other thing was that he had the elect. Yeah, he thought that would all come through that coup thing with getting, the electors to rebel. And he thought he had it all sewn up for himself. So that was why he continued to say the election was rigged. It was all projection, but really he still can't figure out why that didn't work.
Right.
I didn't know.
Well, they went to a judge after judges he put in. And they said, show us the proof. Give us an example. Yeah. And they had no proof.
Because Trump and Steve Miller and Bannon and Giuliani, they're narcissists and they're sociopaths. And they don't understand how democracy works. They don't understand how the legal system works or how resilient it is.
Right.
It's beyond them. They think corruption works. I mean, Trump calling up was it the AG? Who did he call up in Georgia? To get, his whatever 11,000 something votes. Who does that? But he had the temerity to do that. They're grifters, and they think they work.
Graham flew out there to Georgia.
Yeah. So there's so much grift, but it didn't work. And I truly believe there was angelic of intervention too through the whole thing.
The vision that my guys gave me for the 2022 elections is ants and how powerful they are, and they'll work around whatever they have to work around to get to the point. And that's what I got.
They did tell me a few more things. About they say Trump's followers are growing tired of supporting him. There's this cognitive dissonance, especially now that he's come out and said he approves of the vaccine and he's got the booster.
And the booster.
The Q heads just exploded. And so they're in cognitive dissonance and they feel betrayed by Trump because they're always looking for the deep state influence. There's got to be some conspiracy. Right. So that's a problem for him.
And it's hard for him because he called the Democratic hoax.
Yeah. So the next thing they said, they assured me that, and I hope this is true, I didn't just want to hear it, but this is what I heard from my guides. that the bills would be passed. The John Lewis bill, is it?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, and the other voter rights bill and the Build Back Better bill, all are going to be passed.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, and they're going to make it a priority, the Democrats and Biden for this year for the voters' rights, because we were, the 2022 elections are coming up. So then they talked about the Russians. They said the truth about the Russians' interference in installing Trump as president and Russia's continued efforts to disrupt democracy in the US will come to light. Like, we'll become more and more aware that this is really ongoing.
Yeah.
And as I've thought since Trump was installed as president in 2016, that we have been in a World War III. And we've lived through it, which is why we all feel so traumatized, because we really have lived through a war. They're saying fewer people are going to show up to Trump's rallies. People like Steve Bannon and Steve Miller and Don Jr., the people who refuse to honor the indictments for the House Investigative Committee are in for a world of hurt in 2022.
Wow.
And then the last thing they talked about was COVID. And please, grain of salt here, continues to be more devastating for those who will not get vaccinated and don't take the precautions.
Right.
Although I'm with you, there are people who are compromised and can't get vaccinated, but it's really the need to take precautions.
At least protect.
Go out there.
The ones I read that can't do the vaccine, like the people who had a horrible reaction to the flu vaccine where they were hospitalized, the doctors understand, but they stand down, they stay home.
You have to be careful. And the people who are getting COVID and getting very, very ill from it are people who have no concern for it. And it is still dangerous, but it's a lot safer if you've been vaccinated or you take precautions.
Yeah.
So, and I know that I have friends who have COVID and have been vaccinated, have gotten the booster, but it's been generally mild for them. I don't know anybody
Sore throat
who's in the hospital, but that's just personal, friends,
sore throat, like they'll get a sore throat or
it's a
body aches and stuff. Yeah, but definitely not. They don't have to go to the hospital. But were you feeling like it's going to burn out, or
yes? That was the last part of this. They're saying, and I did read on that in the 2022 prediction video, that because more and more people are going to get vaccinated in this year to come, especially young children, because that vaccine's about to come out. I'm not sure when. It burns out. It's still a thing. It's still there, but it's not going to be as devastating as it was.
Just now on Twitter, I saw this beautiful baby. It's like a month old. And the family's asking for prayers. Mind you, both parents are boosted and everything, and the baby still got COVID.
Well, the Omicron is just incredibly transmissible. It's so contagious.
It's in the air.
That's why so many people are getting it. Yeah, that one is. I pray for the baby too.
Yeah.
But I think by the end of this year, we'll be in a better place. Plus, I do think that there will be more therapeutics for it, and it's going to be eventually like the flu or cold or whatever. It's going to lose.
Right, and those pills that came out will really help people who start getting sick with it. They'll make them.
Yeah, but people still this year, be careful. I have never stopped wearing a mask. I dream or have nightmares that I am not wearing a mask. That's how much it is in my consciousness. Like I
wear a mask too, but I love going to the movies, but now with this Omicron, I pretty much am stopping. And just now on the news, they announced there's hundreds of people that aren't flying. I mean, because they're canceling flights left and right.
Oh yeah, Detroit Airport canceled a bunch of flights.
My daughter was treating her dad for his 70th birthday to go to Hawaii, and they'd been planning this forever. And then they had to go to a certain place at $175 a pop and take the the test for the virus.
Wow.
Her dad was positive.
Oh my God.
So he's not vaxxed. So she
Oh.
backed her son up and went. I guess he's all sad she went, but you know what? Tables turned, he would have gone too. I know who he is.
Oh.
So,
We just
hey, have you heard the news about Margaret Taylor Greene getting banned on Twitter
Oh, really? She did when?
today? Mhm.
Yay. She's so horrible.
I don't see her and Boebert being successful next year. How about you?
Well, one of the things my guys were showing me was that they would have to show up for the indictments for potentially being involved in the, yeah.
Well, I see when they do that made
in
for
the
TV
insurrection.
special with Cheney and everybody, and they're going to show pictures and texts and everything, proving beyond a reasonable doubt who was involved in this.
And definitely,
You can't tell me those guys aren't
Oh, yeah.
nervous as we speak. You can't tell me they're not.
They're extremely nervous. That's why they're, so out there. And Marjorie Taylor Greene, she acts as if there's going to be a revolution and they're going to win. It's like she acts as if the insurrectionists are heroes, and this has all been written. She's going to find out the hard way that she's living in a fantasy world.
Don't
Because
mess with democracy.
that is not the case, and she has to obey the law just like anybody else. I think this is the year that she's going to find that out. So yeah, it's not good for any of the Jim Jordan included, the House committee members, or not committee members, the House members who were involved in the insurrection.
Right.
Allegedly. Yeah, but
Have
there's a
you-
lot of proof.
Have you got a feeling about Bannon? Is he going to get hit hard?
Yeah,
He's acting
they said he's in
malpractice.
it for a world of hurt, like Steve Miller and Pompeo. Nobody is really looking at Pompeo, but Pompeo ceded the ground internationally for if the coup was successful. He was going on these secret trips to meet with world leaders. What was that all about?
Yeah. And
Don't you think he was saying, look, we're
Jared,
planning
too.
this insurrection, and if
Yeah.
we win, where are you going to stand with us? That's what he was doing.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah.
And Jared too.
Oh, Jared. Oh my God, Jared. Yeah, they're going to get it. Nobody, my guys have shown me that none of these people are going to escape karma.
I feel really bad about the health of Giuliani.
Oh my God. Well, his liver must be pickled. I
It's
mean, if
just
anybody's
pickled.
liver is pickled, it's going to be Giuliani. What do you see, Linda?
I just don't see. I see him going down, going way down.
Oh yeah, way down. And he digs himself a deeper and deeper hole. They all do. They don't know any other way.
Yeah.
I got in the reading I did for 2022, I got just the justice card in March.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Justice. So somebody's going up to
Yeah.
up a river without a paddle.
Yeah, and believe me, Liz Cheney, no stone is left unturned.
I don't agree with her politics, but she is furious at them.
Oh my God, yeah. And she's got her father on her behind her. And I think we might have talked about that in the last
I don't
video.
feel good about his health either. Dick Cheney.
Yeah, well,
I know he made a deal with the devil and he can live much longer than the rest of us, but I feel something's coming up with him. I don't feel good about Mitch McConnell. There's some people I just feel like it's close, but time frame is not for us to know. But I just feel health things are kind of going downhill.
Yeah, for this coming year. Very, very possible. And Clarence Thomas too. I keep on getting hits.
I've been feeling him since I started reading on this show. I've been telling people, I don't know why. Either he leaves quickly because something happens that he's caught at or his wife is caught at, or he literally just boom, he goes.
Yeah, I feel like all of a sudden we hear that, he's passed. Not that I wish it, but I feel like that could happen.
And this is for entertainment purposes only, but
yes.
But
I'm just
I
saying,
gotta clear up something. You talked about George Washington the last time and you said he hadn't taken a body. I'm not a professional past life person like you.
yeah,
But I did feel that
he was
I
Stacey
felt to the
Abrams. I know.
strongest day that Stacey Abrams was George Washington. I felt that so strong, but that's my feeling. We can have different feelings.
Yeah, and well, the thing is, I it could well be that because I saw Stacey Abrams as a reincarnation of Eleanor Roosevelt, but
Mhm.
there's nothing saying that Eleanor Roosevelt wasn't the incarnation of George Washington. I mean, it's
That's
spanning
true.
hundreds
That's
of
true.
years here. So, we'll leave it at that. I just because I read, yeah, and there are things that I just don't see, but that doesn't mean they're not true. I
Okay.
just don't see it at the time. I
Right.
always say anything that I read on grain of salt, always, because I'm just a
Yeah.
human being. I do the best I can
Right.
to channel the guides, but I could be wrong. So
Right.
yeah,
But I just wanted, somebody said, I thought you said Stacy, and I did say that, and that's what I felt, but it doesn't mean I'm right.
and it doesn't mean that you're not right. And who knows? We'll find out when we pass. We'll be looking like the first question you're going to ask on the other side. Can you kind of tell me? just wait. Just wait a second. Can you clear this up for me?
There you go. What'd you do New Year's Eve night? I slept.
Oh, I stayed up. I'm rewatching Succession. I don't know if you've seen Succession.
No, is it good?
Oh my God, it's amazing. You have to have the stomach for it. But it's an HBO series, and it's kind of based on King Lear, but and the Rupert Murdoch family and the Trump family. It's this very dysfunctional family. I think it's more like Murdoch than anything else. Although the writers, I think once they were threatened with a lawsuit actually after the first season, but they're saying it's not. But it's about this patriarch who's owns like a Fox type network, and he has 3 children, and they're vying for succession, and his health isn't very good. I think he has a stroke in season 3, and it's just the most brilliant piece of television I've seen for a very, very long
I
time.
didn't have to watch it.
Yeah, it's amazing, and it's just like, oh my God. And it's billed as a kind of drama comedy. It is very funny, but it's brutal. And some people now are like, even on the Midas Brothers, Midas Touch, that podcast, I don't know if you know them,
No.
but they had this whole thing on, was Kendall Roy the not the eldest son, but the second eldest son, who's supposed to take over the empire, but is a drug addict and has all kinds of problems, and that's the thing, the father dangles the that prize of taking over from him to each of his children, and it drives him crazy. But was he based on Donald Trump Jr.? That is the discussion that's being had now on Twitter. So yeah, maybe, but you have to watch it. And so I'm rewatching it, and it's really been pretty wonderful to watch. So I watched that. I had a wonderful meal. There's a local, it's a fusion, like, I don't know whether it's Japanese / New Orleans restaurant that does seafood, and they do these seafood boils, and you get this huge bag of crab and shrimp and what else? Oh, mussels, and with a garlic butter sauce, and it's fantastic. And they're just this little shop on the corner, and I had that, and I had a cheesecake, and so I had a beautiful meal. So it's been really, really nice, and I'm just being in touch with everybody on social media. But I guess it was quiet. I did not go to a party, and I would not, even if I had a party to go to, I would not go.
I usually, my younger day, I lived for New Year's. I wouldn't take Christmas off or certain Thanksgiving, but I always took New Year's off and Academy Award night. Those were my holidays when I worked as a nurse.
So yeah, New Year's, I'm so positive about this coming year. I can't even tell you. I'm so excited about it.
Do you feel it? I feel like there's some good things coming. I'm not feeling dread. Did you feel dread for 2021? I didn't feel as much dread because I knew Trump wasn't going to be in office.
Well, let's think back. That was just a few days before the insurrection. No, I don't know if I saw that coming up. I know I did a reading, and my guides told me that not to worry, that everything would work out, like our democracy would survive. And I think that was before the insurrection. And then all of a sudden this insurrection happened, but we still had the election, and Biden and Harris were still inaugurated. So somebody commented, I thought you said it was going to be fine. And I said, well, my guys showed me that everything was going to work out, because people were worrying. Do you remember? People were worrying about the inauguration, that there was going to be violence.
Yes, I remember
They were
that.
talking about that. And I was just, my guide said, no, it's going to be okay. And even
Yeah,
though we
because
had
I feel like they really put extra people out there.
oh yeah, the angels were everywhere. That's what I
Yeah.
thought. They were just like totally protecting everybody, all our Congress people and our senators, and thwarting the insurrectionists, even though we were at just a fine line of people being, Pelosi could have been, any of them could have been murdered.
Oh, if they
Pence
had
could have
gotten
been
a hold
hung.
of her,
They had the
they
news
had
ready.
gotten a hold of her. Oh my God.
That they had a noose out there. But my guide said to let everybody know that everything was going to be okay. And so I answered the person. I said, well, actually, everybody was okay. We were okay. I mean, some police died, but our democracy stood, and that was the truth of it.
And
Yeah.
I mean, I don't like him, but Pence stood there and waited till 3 a.m. and went through the counting.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Thanks to Vice President, his name is escaping me. Why is that?
Pence?
Yeah, but yeah, Pence was told not to, because behind the scenes, Pence knew that he might be forced to do this. I mean, he was being asked to.
And he tried everything he could, but
Dan Quayle.
the other vice
Dan
president,
Quayle saved our
Quayle, told him,
democracy.
don't do it, whatever you do. So when Pence came, and oh boy, Trump told him, I'm very disappointed in you.
Well, who
Very
thought of the news? Do you think Trump had something to do with the noose being built? What the heck was that about? And I can't even believe that Pence, even now, is, oh my God, I guess it's the only way he thinks he can still stay in as a viable,
because
Republican.
if they'd have got a hold of him, they'd have hurt him too.
They would have hung him.
Yeah.
They had the news ready. But I have to go back. I felt positive. I think I felt that things were going to be okay, even though it was probably going to be a rough start. And it has been okay. I think for me, the thing that has been the most negative has been the media.
Yes.
Has driven me crazy, because we got out of Afghanistan, we got the infrastructure bill passed, we got the American Rescue Plan, all these incredibly positive things happened this year. If we could have had it reframed, if the media had a different narrative and at least been more balanced, instead of just being so negative about Biden, we would have had a better year, because we wouldn't have been absorbing this fear and this negativity that really wasn't based on anything.
No.
So that's what made the year difficult. So I stopped watching. I was going to say, if you watch the news, I stopped watching.
I love my Rachel Maddow, and I got real pissed at her because
me
she
too.
was really being a Debbie Downer.
Yeah, she always started out with something that was going to make you really scared and really upset.
Yes.
And then she'd have her guest on to, calm her down or something, but I would turn her off at the beginning. I tried so
and I
many times
never turned her off, because she's that good of a person. When she's talking, she gives you this interesting point, and when she's going along, you can go with her. But then she just got real Debbie Downer.
Yeah, she did. And so did Chris Hayes. I can't watch him anymore. Occasionally I can watch Ari Melber?
Ari, yeah.
And I stopped watching MSNBC. I just started watching
Fox News?
YouTube cooking shows, and listening to some true crime, which I enjoy, and exploring old Columbo, or there was this period of time where I would just rewatch Columbo.
Because I've never seen, and I swear to God, I'm going to watch it this year. Schitt's Creek.
Oh, I love Schitt's Creek. I love Schitt's Creek. It's wonderful. Oh, you will love it. It's fantastic.
So I'm going to watch that, and I'm going to watch Succession, because there's a lot of people on Twitter that talk about Succession.
Oh, it's fabulous. It's like, how The Sopranos,
I never
or Game of Thrones. I didn't watch Game of Thrones, but how like
Oh, I
certain,
watched Game of Thrones.
so certain series are like, it's like water cooler talk. Everybody's watching.
Talking about
Well,
it.
the Succession is that for now. It
Okay.
really is. And it's fabulous. It's
I like The Crown too. I thought The Crown was really good.
yeah, it's up there. Succession will be like
I'm gonna
like
have
a
to watch it.
iconic television. It is. Yeah, you have to please watch it. Yeah, and let me know what you think.
Okay, okay. So, so your guides felt pretty good about this coming year.
They felt wonderful about it. They made a point of asking me to let people know it's going to be better than people can imagine.
I
It's a
love
wonderful
it.
year.
Thank you.
And it's going to get better. We're not going backwards because
Well,
we
look at
decided.
Jesus, even the stock market's hanging in, not that that determines the economy. Economy hasn't been better. Unemployment is fantastic. And they're going to act like he's not doing anything.
Yeah, that has to change, and that will change eventually, like my guide said. But for now, well, again, and I've said this repeatedly, but remember that only 6 companies own 90% of our media. And the majority of those companies are, owned by people like Rupert Murdoch and the
Yeah.
Koch brothers and all these, people who put Trump into power, and they're still trying to get Trump in
Yeah,
power.
but Murdoch hates Trump. He's
But
the
they-
one that told Fox News to go ahead and announce it, that Arizona. And oh boy, Trump said that Murdoch, he knew that Murdoch, that he told Fox News, go ahead and announce Arizona.
Yeah, but
One.
it's one thing about hating Trump, but they still want the Republican Party to get into power again. They want people like DeSantis and Ted Cruz,
Oh,
and
DeSantis is going down.
because they don't want to have to pay taxes. They want to have no regulations. Think about all the executive orders that Biden has signed protecting the environment, that he put Deb Haaland in to protect our national monuments and our national parks. Behind the scenes, I don't know what to call them, the neo-libertarian people who really are behind Trump and behind any of these kind of neo-fascist politicians and governments. They want us to have war over water. They don't, because that was always the big thing. We're going to have a big war over water. Well, Biden isn't playing that game.
No.
They want us to be suffering while very few of us have everything. This is really what
Biden's trying to change the water. He's trying to help people with bad water.
Yeah,
because Trump didn't do anything for people in Michigan and stuff.
Well, the thing is, Trump did the reverse. Trump deregulated the safeguards and the protections. So that's really the battle that's going on. And there's a lot I don't know, I'm sure, about like why the media is being the way the media is, but it is a very negative force. And I believe that the media should go back. There should be that law again about fair and balanced news. I think it should be broken up. I don't think that 6 companies should be allowed to own 90% of our media.
Yeah.
I think there should be more regulation. Fox is allowed to spread COVID, to encourage insurrection, etc. That can't be okay. So
I mean, those people out there talking trash, Tucker and all of them, they're all vaccinated, and
yeah,
Fox News won't let you walk in the door, but they're going to tell the other poor people. But the thing is, here's what's weird, girlfriend. They're killing off the people that they need to vote for them.
that is true.
It's so weird. Why wouldn't you want to protect? Maybe even Trump finally got it, because he used to be anti, but as long as he was making money off of it. And then when Biden said, thanks to our former president, this vaccine because Trump took all holds off. Just make the bloody thing. Don't worry about nothing. Just make it. And he was hoping it would come out before the voting. But anyway, and then Biden took it and ran with it. But Biden gave him credit where credit is due. And Trump actually out loud said, oh, wow, that's great. And that's when Trump's verbiage changed. That's when he started saying, he even said, I think that this vaccine is going to be the best thing that was ever created since man has been on this earth. But he's talking about himself.
Do you know that Marjorie Taylor Greene owns like stock in 3 vaccine companies?
Oh, you're kidding. I didn't know that. Figures though. Doesn't surprise me.
I saw it on Twitter.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So can I ask you if you can give us any good hope about Putin for 2022?
I will read on that right now. Actually, I've got my pendulum with me.
Okay.
Let's see. Putin just loses power, loses popularity. Yeah, he's even now, and there was a meeting, there was a phone call between Putin and Biden, right, a few days ago, that Putin requested, because Biden is owning Putin right now.
Is he
But
really? That's wonderful.
Yeah. Yeah. Putin is ill, grain of salt on all of this. And I have gotten for a while that he has bone cancer. Yeah. Yep.
Well, I saw him running. I used to get the vision of him running away from crowds of people chasing him.
Oh, you mean because you're so angry at him?
I guess
Well,
so.
that-
I see people
yeah.
angry at him. I don't know what he's going to do or what's coming up. I know the Russian people aren't worried about him taking that other country. They don't want all
The
this
Ukraine.
nonsense. Yeah.
Well, he's losing popularity, and I think the oligarchs are angry at him too, because he just hasn't come through for them the way that he was supposed to. I mean, put all of these resources in getting Trump in power, and they thought, they'd hit it. They'd hit their treasure trove. They could just do whatever they want, and Trump couldn't deliver for them the way that they had expected.
He was being watched, and Trump didn't like being watched.
And Putin is down. It's just down for him, like it is for Trump. Like they're tied together, like the tower. They're showing me the tower card. So they're, that tower is really the tower of Putin in Moscow. Yeah, like they're showing me the minarets, those towers in Moscow, and then there's a Trump tower. It's all tied together, and it's all falling down. And the people will oust him if he doesn't die beforehand.
Well, apparently you're not going to hear it on regular news, but they really are suffering with the virus.
Oh yeah, because Putin himself, the same propaganda that he spread through Fox to us about COVID was spread to the Russian people, and they don't trust his Sputnik vaccine.
Okay.
So very few, not very few, I should say that I think Germany has the percentage-wise, strangely enough, the fewest people who are vaccinated in Europe.
What?
Yeah, I don't know. I think there's a lot of propaganda there too. But yeah, Putin, what the curse that he put on our country is on his country.
Catapulting, yeah.
Yeah, so 1 sec, let me see if I can get any more information. So his sickness is kind of progressing slowly, they say, and he is on medication for it. And it causes him like tremors and weakness. But he's like Trump or any other narcissist in the sense that he will not loosen his grip on power. Even if there is somebody who could take over for him, he wouldn't. Once he gives over power, it's done for him. That's how he feels.
Didn't Trump not give Pence the power while he was out under?
Yeah, exactly. It's the same thing. He doesn't trust anybody, and he shouldn't trust anybody because he's not a nice person, and he doesn't have that many. I'm sure there's a few masochistically loyal people to him, but a lot of people would stab him in the back the minute. It's like and I hate casting aspersions on wild dogs or wolves, but if there's a sick wolf in the pack, a stronger leader, wolf takes over. That whole thing.
Yeah.
That's kind of what happens. I'm not even sure if that's what happens in wild dog packs, but that kind of metaphor, that they'll just bring him down. Like once they smell or, shark smelling blood in the water. They're
Yeah,
just going to take him down. So let's see how long he may
Yeah.
have. There's a few years left for him on this downward slope for Putin, but the guys are saying, well, we all gotta die sometime, like he's human just like everybody else, but he's certainly losing his
Grip.
strength. Yeah. So
when America votes in 2022 and it is for liberty, for justice, it's for the people come out in droves and say enough of this crap, this trauma.
yeah,
We don't want to go back to how you guys did before. Even the people with the border, you don't think those people are happy that their land isn't going to be taken in order to build that wall? Remember, a lot of them were upset.
yeah,
But anyway, and the fact that there's opportunity, most of the people who were against the vaccine are going, if you know what I mean. But I just feel like when this democracy wins in 2022 in November, I can see people backing down.
yeah,
I can
Yeah.
see people backing down.
yeah. I agree with you 100% about that. So let's see if there's anything else my guides want to tell people. They just want to tell people to be happy,
Mhm.
to find happiness. We've not allowed ourselves to be happy because we've, been traumatized and on our guard, but just be happy.
Well, we're going to go through a lot. We are already going through a lot of earth change.
Yeah.
There's a shifting going on the earth.
Oh, huge shift. Yeah.
And so we got other things to worry about.
Yeah. But people have to look after their health. People
Yes.
have to look after their mental health. People have to take care of themselves because there's only so much that people can withstand if they're constantly under the pressure of stress and anxiety. So that really has to be.
I worry about our children. I worry about the youth.
But the youth are here, the seventh generation, right? They're here. They're all okay. They're equipped, even though they've been through all this trauma. They're equipped to overcome.
Yeah.
And they're going to value things that maybe they didn't value if this hadn't happened, like going through COVID. And they're bringing in. I'm getting chills. They're bringing in a whole new wave of compassion and love and hope and ingenuity and the ability to be flexible and to adapt and just like, I can feel them coming. I can, the ones that are here and the ones that are on the way, to bring in Aquarius, to bring in this new phase of our evolution. Oh, it's wonderful. So they're going to be the ones who are going to look back and recount this as history and rejoice in what has manifested. That's what the guides are saying to me right now.
Right.
Yeah.
I love it. That's great. Now, Demings, that Congressman Demings, Val Demings,
wants to run against
running for, is she going to win?
Let me see.
Ask your pendulum.
I'm going to right now.
Is she running against Marco Rubio?
Oh, it's Marco Rubio. Yeah, I was thinking DeSantis, but you're right. It is Marco Rubio. Oh, I hope I'm hearing them right, but I hear yes, she will win.
Oh, you scared me the way you went. Oh, I hope I'm not right. It's no.
No, I hope I'm here. I said I hope I'm hearing them right.
I saw her winning.
Yeah, they're saying yes, she's going to win. Yeah, I didn't say oh no. I said I hope I'm hearing them right because
you were happy.
What they were trying to tell me she's not running against DeSantis, she's running against somebody else. But that's why I was blocked. But yeah, Marco Rubio, he's going down, and he's got some major problems hitting him. Well, oh wow.
What?
They're saying he's caught up in the Matt Gaetz thing.
No.
DeSantis, yeah. There's a huge amount of corruption. Joel Green, false, how there are all those false candidates. or the candidates that ran under the same name as somebody else, or the candidates that were just there to siphon off votes. And it's the, oh, they're saying also that there's been a lot of these, the ballots, the mail-in ballots that
Yeah.
have been hidden. And they're involved in that. Like there's a mountain of them, there's warehouses of them. And they're reminding me about Miami, how Miami, hardly, any Democrats voted and the Republicans dominated. Well, they said that's not true at all, but the mail-in ballots were appropriated or misappropriated and hidden.
Can they still do that?
Yeah, they did that. Allegedly.
Won't that hurt Val Demings to win if they're?
No, I'm saying in the last election.
Okay.
Not in the future. I'm saying that Marco Rubio is wrapped up in all of this criminality. It's a lot, including sex trafficking. Oh God, allegedly, Marco Rubio, don't come after me.
So is Matt Gaetz finally going to go down? We've been seeing him going down for a while.
Yes. It's going to take time because he has money, he has deep pockets, and he has attorneys, and he's going to fight at every step.
Oh, Maxine, how do you pronounce her name?
Maxine Waters?
No,
No.
Giselle.
Ghislaine Maxwell.
Ghislaine, that's how you say it.
Ghislaine.
She had a lot of money she threw at it. And when the judge said, "Are you sure you don't want to testify on your behalf?" She said, "Your Honor, the prosecution hasn't proved their case."
With Max Gaetz, eventually he will go down. Yeah, okay. I'm getting that. And there's prison time for him. I see him in a red, orange.
Ooh, I did too.
Yeah.
Hey,
but it might take a little longer than we want.
It's already taken too long.
Maybe it's 2023 when it really, when he finally goes down, but and maybe this year, but yeah, I think so.
What about Ghislaine? What are you picking up on her? Somebody says, "Oh, she'll hardly get any time." I didn't feel that.
Oh, she's going down. Is it Ghislaine or Ghislaine?
It's Maxine. No, what's her name?
Ghislaine or Ghislaine? I pronounced it Ghislaine at first because I thought that would be the
I think that's how you pronounce it. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's on suicide watch, by the way.
I think she's going down for a very long time. It's 5 felony counts.
Yeah. She's on suicide watch. You don't go on suicide watch unless they know they're planning on killing her. Because they used to say that Epstein was on suicide watch. Remember that?
Oh yeah. Well, I did a whole few videos on what I thought, which was that he was murdered.
I always felt
they all watched, and I know it's on video. I believe it's, I shouldn't say I know, sorry. I think it's on video. I think that you could still probably get a copy of it somewhere if you're out there, one of those people, he was murdered. I allegedly. I can't say that. I mean, there's no, like, the way that he was.
Purposes only, but yeah, I always said it. I said it.
Asleep. Yeah, but with her, she is. Oh, that's the other part of it for her.
What
is that? They're still trying to get her to flip on information that she knows regarding other higher ups who are involved, and she's not, which is why she's getting such strong sentences. But she may end up having to flip. But if she flips, then she's vulnerable.
Very vulnerable.
Certainly, that might have been the case for Epstein. Maybe he was flipping. But again.
Well, remember when she first went to jail, she refused to let Bill Barr come see her.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, she refused.
Yeah, and the whole thing was like everything goes back to Putin. I'm like Nancy Pelosi. It all goes back to Russia. But a lot of this does, because that was all aspiring for Putin, for compromise.
Also, I feel like
maybe the Saudis in Israel too. I don't know.
Bill Barr wasn't there because he's trying to protect. I don't see Bill Barr part of it, but he knows about it because his father was involved. Why do you
Oh,
think his
yeah.
father hired Epstein?
Yeah, his father wasn't Barr's father like a
Professor, and he
philanderer,
hires
or
his nobody. Everybody's
I don't-
saying, what kind of credentials? He didn't have any credentials, but he had what the father wanted. So,
yeah. This is just so deep, but I do believe there's espionage involved, or spying for compromise. There were cameras everywhere. There was a reason for those cameras. That money came from somewhere. So I do believe that not just Russia, maybe it was other countries too, but that's really how Epstein made his money. That's what was really going on, and that's why he invited all the people like Bill Gates, etc., to his island, is to get compromise on them, because
yeah,
that's how.
but you know what? I never felt Bill Gates is part of it.
No,
I
think too,
felt
Bill
he
Gates was,
was
or
a collector of names and numbers. So he
yeah,
was Bill Gates because he had money. He
I think he tried to get compromise on these people, and I don't think he was able to get compromise
and I
on
don't
everybody.
see it with
Yeah.
Clinton either. And
No,
Clinton was,
I don't either. Though I
Clinton
think
could be
they might be playing
underhanded, but he
around.
wasn't going for the youngins.
No, I think that not for the underage. I don't feel that either about Clinton. Well, we'll see, but I do believe that Maxwell will get a pretty heavy sentence. And
Will they tell her too bad if she says, okay, I'm going to rat fink on everybody, or will they tell her too bad? Your sentence is already in place.
she can't afford to rat fink on everybody. Hey, think about how her father died.
I know, off a boat.
Yeah, and weren't there rumors that he was a spy?
Yeah.
Yeah. So wouldn't it be weird? Oh,
might-
I don't wish death on her, but like,
Might
wouldn't it
go
be
to
weird
her
if she
grave
died the same
punching
day?
under that black book and have nothing to say.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't it be weird if Maxwell died, not by drowning, but kind of in a mysterious way like her father? But it must be in her mind. I guess that's what I was trying to say, that if her
Well,
her father may have died like
so
that.
interesting. She refused to see Bill Barr. Refused.
Yeah, yeah,
Because I think Trump would have given her pardon, but I don't know what Bill Barr said to Trump, but I feel like he thought, nah, I still can't trust her. I'm not gonna. And if I pardon her, it's gonna look bad.
yeah. It's going to look bad, because it's one thing to pardon somebody for like flipping an election or trying to flip an election, violently, but to pardon her for sex trafficking, I think that would have been a bit too close.
But
to
I
home.
gotta tell you something, honest to God, she was put her nose up in the air. She thought they had nothing. She didn't think they could prove their case. And the way that it was presented, even to Bill Barr, he thought, oh yeah, she's got the money to pay. They won't be able to prove her case. She'll be able to get out of this. Honest to God, I feel like they were so sure. And then when she got convicted, that's why she's on suicide watch. She can't believe it. If you look at the drawings they did of her looking at that jury, it was what?
Yeah.
And even,
absolutely.
even kind of an evil glance.
Yeah, I was looking at a reading that I did. It's my 43rd reading or something. And I in that card, the last card was a tower, and my guides were showing me something about how she's not feeling as invulnerable anymore. Like, this is a vulnerability for her. She no longer can protect herself the way that she used to. That's what they said, and I was thinking about that, because I went back and looked at it actually.
And you know who also I had bad cards on? Bill Barr. He always showed with bad cards.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
So I think I know Cohen is suing him, but I think some stuff's coming up on Bill Barr too. And well deserved, may I say.
My guys showed me all of those people, and I know people questioned me about it when I did readings for them, and I still do. I mean, not for the people, for if I should say on Barr and Bannon and whatever, I always got the tower, I always got the death card, I always got the 10 of swords, and this includes for Trump. All of them were going to come to that, and it seems to me that looking at it now, they're all going down. That 10 of swords covers all of them, and if one goes down, all of them go down, because they're all together. You can't separate one from the other in terms of what they're involved in, and Trump made it that way. Right. That's how he ran the country. you had to become just like the mafia, or a gang, you have to go and do your hit or whatever, allegedly, before you can be part of that gang. They all had to prove their fealty in some way. So they all go down together. If one goes down, all goes down.
Right,
Yes.
right.
Yeah.
Girl,
still
it's
hold
always
to
so
that.
much fun reading with you. I swear to God.
I love reading with you
Rock.
too, Linda. You know that.
And after this virus is over, I'm coming to see you, girlfriend. We're
Oh,
gonna
that'd be
go to that
fantastic.
place. I want some of that food. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
yeah, absolutely. It is so good. It is so wonderful. You're always invited here, Linda.
Thank you. Thank you.
I
So
love you.
listen, we'll do this again. Let's keep this a habit.
Okay, let's do it. Yeah.
This maybe even February. We'll talk later
Okay.
about deets, but I have such a good time. Like
Yeah, I do
you
too.
and Mel and Annette and everybody. Anybody I'm with, it feels so great.
Well, I
All
want to wish everybody Happy New Year. Happy New
Yeah,
Year. to you,
Happy New
Linda.
Year. Happy New Year.
It's wonderful. Yay.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. I'm gonna end now because I have a membership thing. So I
Yeah.
do what they call open mic.
Uh-huh.
And open mic is, plus I have to pick the winners. If you're a member, I pick 2 free readings a month, but come after the end of me reading all these people for the year, I'll probably move it up to 4 free readings. But you can also be in the regular subscriber. They send in their name and number and I pick out of that. So they love them free readings, girlfriend.
Well, they should.
That's what
they get you to read for them. Can I really quickly let people know how to get in touch with me?
Sure. And I'm going to post it on your YouTube too.
Oh, okay. Well, they can see it up there. Melissa Free Range Psychic.
Yes.
You can call me 734 773-9758, or to text is the best, really, for me to get in touch.
Okay.
And also, Sacred Fire Psychic Readings is my Facebook page, and you can like me on or join me on Twitter under Melissa Free Range Psychic or at Range Psychic.
What were you saying today? You said something on Twitter today. You said, get ready. What was the news?
Oh, I don't remember.
It was good news though.
Yeah. Oh, my email is sacredfirepsychicreadings@gmail.com. Okay.
And it'll be down below, you guys.
What did I post on Twitter?
I don't remember, but it was good. Okay, you guys, you take care. We'll see you next month with Melissa. Cheers.
Bye-bye. Cheers. Bye-bye.